All right, folks, it's me again. I'm suffering. It's sticky, icky in here. But my dad drove home safely. He's already 83, and I'm very glad about that. So I'm gonna play a song first. It's called Alberta by Eric Clapton. I don't know if he wrote it. He just took it, I think. It starts with a C chord, and it uses C, G, and F. And even though these are three completely new fellas, and the griff builder, the grips you'll learn later. Maybe today I'll have to have a look. But it uses also these three fellas, but in a different key. It's in the key of C, right? But I could have played the song that comes now also in our angels, in the angels chords A, E, and B. But let's stick to the original. Alberta, Alberta, we've been so long. Alberta, Alberta, we've been so long. Come on this morning, since you've been gone. I got a bird that whistles, I got a bird that sings, got a bird that whistles, I got a bird that sings. It's sticky icky also for the fingers. If I come on this morning, since you've been gone. Chocolate bell. Okay, so but we stick to the math. We keep sticking to the mathematical foundations that we've made out. You remember that? You remember what we had? We had a hitter factor to the 12th power must be the double of the frequency. So the hitter, right? The hitter. I'm on the screen. Yeah, the hitter is then the 12th root of 2, and that was 1.059. Okay, so 1 plus 5.9%. Okay, good. So we might be able to drop to sketch all that, because if we started on the E, the E had a certain frequency. Right? And the frequencies are growing, but from every frequency to each frequency, it grows faster, right? So basically, what happens is this, okay? So we had the basic tone, the E, and these were 12 frets, right? The 12 frets to the octave. So these are already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the 5er, the 7er, the 7er, the 8, 9, the 10er, and the 12er. Right? That's the frequencies. And what about the names? This is now very important, the names. Because that's the E, we based it on the E. So the next tone has a different name. It's not called E sharp, it's called F. Why that is, it's just by definitions. The musicians started to call the next tone after the E F. That's for the same reason funny as for the next tone after the F is not just the G, it's F sharp, right? So F sharp. Then comes the G, and then comes G sharp, and then comes our A, right? Then this is A sharp. Then this is the B. Listen, our 7th fellow was the B. Then comes the C without a sharp, and then comes the C sharp, and then comes the D sharp, and the E prime. This E is a higher octave than this E, okay? Why that is has to do with that C major is the mother of all scales. If you remember, a scale looks a bit like a septagon, right? We have 2 tones, 2 tones, 1 tone, 2 tones, 2 tones, 2 tones, 1. That's the major scale. the frequency, after one turnaround, the frequency is doubled. So, but you can see here, if we start on the C, because that was the mother of all scales, starting on the C, there comes the C sharp. So that is the sharp, then is the D, then is the sharp, then is the E. And look, here you got it. It's half a tone to the F. They wanted the C. The C one is the white scales on the piano. The C scale is the white scale, only the white scales. So the black scales are all those guys. Wherever you have a sharp sign, that's the black scales. And basically, if you learn the piano, it's for that reason it would be maybe smarter if I had started again, I would maybe start to just be a master on the white scale and use a synthesizer keyboard where I can transpose the whole thing if I want to transpose it to a different key, because different keys have the black ones in. The black ones come with different keys, and the C is the first one, and if the next scale, like in the historical ways, the next one is the G scale, and that has one black key in it. And the next one is the D scale. The D major scale has two blacks in it, so it grows. The black grow and they go back again. It's quite interesting. So one of all these frequencies, these are the frequencies, okay? These are the frequencies. These are not the lengths of the neck. The lengths of the neck, they transform differently. They don't transform with a 5.9% growth. They transform with the reverse. The reverse would be 1 over 1.059. So basically, you have 94.4% is always the step for the neck lengths. But these are the frequencies, right? One of these frequencies is very, very famous. It's the one that is with the Stimmgabeln, you know. The Stimmgabeln, the classic Stimmgabels are always built with an A, and they basically swing in only one frequency, and it's the A, the very, very famous A, and the A has 440 hertz. That means in one second it swings 440 cycles. But this is when you buy a Stimmgabel, then you get the A. I don't know if there are any other Stimmgabels. Could be. I don't know. If you had to calculate to a different level, let's say go to the C sharp, maybe we should multiply to the C sharp, and we have the fact that the A is 440 hertz. Yeah. Then from A to the C sharp, that's like 1, 2, 3, 5 half steps. Every half steps has the 5.9 add on, so that C sharp will have the frequency 440 hertz times 1.059 to how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then you can calculate it, okay? And the thing is, if you start anywhere somewhere else, it must also work, right? And the only thing that makes it work is the exponential structure in it, because the exponential structure means that you could start on a different tone, right? And you can, if you change the relative, it's like a self-similarity. An exponential is a self-similar function. What do I mean with that? This goes up, right? For example, the COVID virus, also the draws, the sketches at first were also like exponential, growing like this. But, oh sorry, this one was not very good. More or less like that. But that is a self-similarity. Why is that? What do I mean with self-similarity? If you could also start on the G, right? You could also start on G, and you would also still have the same factor would be the exponential law. It would be 5.9% growing from each. This is also true for him, right? This is also has to do with in the news. When in the news the exponential growth is like shown like this, people might say, okay, what happens after that? Well, then we have more, right? And the question is, why don't we draw this? Well, if we want to draw the higher one, the next one is maybe this guy. If we want to draw this, then we can't. well, we have to adjust it so that we can see it, right? So if you want to have this as the last value, then this means that many values in here get kind of lost, but in the end, the exponential looks the same, right? It's basically everywhere you could start your consideration of it, like the investigation could start everywhere, and it would also be exponential always. That's what I call a self-similarity. This has to do with the guitar too, because at the guitar, you know, you could. By the way, the fellas CFG, we're gonna come to that maybe a bit later. You can, if you start anywhere, you know, if I start in a G, I could make the major scale from the G, but I could also start from here. This would also work. You can take every tone and start from it, and it's just the same. Why the exponentials and the fractions work so well together, that is a miraculous thing that leads up until the scar tissue video of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, where the John Frusciante played it in a different. He distuned the G string or something. There's a mirror to it. There's a secret to it. There's also a secret to this Pythagorean comma, the Pythagorean comma. I have never really understood that, but it maybe has to do with the problem that a guitar can never be totally precise, right? This self-similarity is also coming out nicely if we use that thing. That is a capodaster, you know, a capodaster. With this capodaster, you can kind of shorten the neck. If you shorten the neck, right? If you shorten the neck down, let's say, then you can use, let's say, the guys from Alberta, which were they? C, F, and G. If we play C, F, and G, it still sounds like Alberta. Look at this. Alberta, we've been so long. Alberta, we've been so long. This was Alberta, with the same fellas from before, but just 4 semitones up, which means it was the grips of C, F, and G, but the sounds of E, A, and B. Do you remember E, A, and B were the fellas from our first song, Robbie Williams' Angels, right? I sit and wait. There's an angel. Sorry, I played it. I played this, the A. You can play it like this, but you can also play it like here, right? It's the same. We will find this out later. It's the same tone, but I go back to see it properly for you. Sit and wait. There's an angel. Contemplate my faith. Do they know the places where we go when we're gray and old? 'Cause I've been told that salvation lets their wings unfold. There's the A again. You can see that this finger, right? I took the E. You remember I told you we had to block with this finger. If I have the E and I move it up, I have to block it out. And this is precisely the role of the capodaster. So you see that you can, with the capodaster, you can basically learn only with a few grips, and with the capodaster you can help yourself and tune it in the right key of the song, right? And let's go back to this guy again. These were the C, D, E. If you have a look at the piano, at the piano keys, right? You will find out that the C sharp is the black key, right? Black, right? And that the D sharp is also black, right? and that the F sharp is also black, and the G sharp is also black, and the B flat is also black. They're all black. I now said B flat, but I think in German we also say A is, you know. So what we do have is we have 5 black keys. We have a scale which always has 12 notes, but in the major scale is only 7 notes interesting, so it's a septagon. So it's basically that's the shape of our ear. This is the shape of our ear. This is the septagon of the thing. And if we want to form a C triad, it's a major triad. Let's just look at this one chord. If the major triad, you remember, had this. You need the basic tone. You know, you need the major triad up, and then the minor triad additionally. So we need C's, E's, and G's, right? That's the G. That's the G. That's the A, right? So you need C's, C's, E's, and G's. That's it. And if you look on the guitar now, the tuning of the guitar. I never told you about the tuning because I don't find this very interesting. First of all, you have to understand how self-similar the whole thing is and how easy the patterns are between the structures, the structure between the chords, the chords between the patterns. You know what I mean? You know, that's really important. But the tuning comes maybe last. The tuning, if you're interested in it, I could tell you that as an end, in the end now, is you have an E. That's the E. If you wanna know, here's the term for the frequency, right? No, that was C sharp. Sorry, the E has a different frequency, right? What would you have to do here to come to the E? We had a 4 for that, so 5, 6, 7. If we need a 7, you have that. So that's an E. This is an A. Just accept it. This is a D. This is a G. This is a B. And this is an E. And if we go hunting now, hunting and haunting, is that the same word? Haunting. If we hound now for C's, E's, and G's, then the grip looks like this. This is C major. And if you look for, this was a ground tone. The second fellow in this ground tone would be the F, the subdominant, remember? You know, I remember this F, this came from, because E was here, and I do the thing, the grip with I do the trick with the blocking, then I have the F. And the G, if we work for the G, we need one triad up and a major triad up, 4 half tones, and a minor triad up again. So I need from the G's, then I need G's, B's, and D's. If I go haunting for G's, B's, and D's, then it looks like this. And every tone comes twice because the whole thing is in a way that the octaves happen, okay? But the octaves are not a problem, it's just the same tone. But it's only 3 different tones. This is only 3 different tones, and this is only 3 different tones. There also come more complicated tones where it's not only a major one. But with the major tones, you can play country, you can play folk, you can play rock, you can play pop, you can play so much. You believe me, you can play almost everything, except maybe not jazz. But for that, you have to ask Helge Schneider. All right. So, and this is why I'm going to play once again, Alberta, Alberta. By the way, I could also play Alberta, Alberta, with. So if someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, play me Alberta, Alberta," with the fellas of E, then you have to think, okay, I need to have the fellas of E, and I have such a thing as a tool. So the fellas of E, how come I come to the fellas of C with the fellas of E? Well, from E to C is a long way, but that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. So I have to use this guy and put it to the 8th fret, and now I can use those. Did I want the C? The E ones. The E fellas. I want to use the E fellas. So you look. Then we go to Robbie Williams, and I have Alberta, Alberta. this moment since you've been gone. So I didn't even have to change the voice because it was in C now. It was in the original key, but the keys were all pitched higher because I shortened the neck. But I'm gonna play it normally to now. I want to play it good. I never played it good today. Let's see. Chocolate bell, chocolate bell, chocolate bell. Alberta, Alberta. We've been so long. Alberta, Alberta. We've been so long. Come on, this moment since you've been gone. I got a bird that whistles. I got a bird that sings. I got a bird that whistles. Got a bird that sings. Come on this morning since he a thing. Chocolate bell. Do, 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 do. By the way, I played it. The second part was a Bob Dylan song. It's called Corina Corina. It's just as nice as Alberta Alberta, but they're very similar. Okay. 17 minutes. Oh. 7. Okay. Folks, it was nice to have you. It was nice having you. Goodbye.